Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're jumping into something really interesting. We're looking at 10 proven global business models and asking a pretty simple question. How do you make them actually work in Bangladesh?
Right.
Our mission is to figure out how these big global ideas have to, bend to fit the local reality. We're talking about things like massive urban density, sometimes low bandwidth internet, and this absolute need to build digital trust from scratch.
And what's really fascinating across all the source material
Mm.
is that the success of these models, it rarely came down to the core idea itself.
Oh, really? So what was it?
It was all about the user experience, the
Huh?
UI UX.
Mm.
Was it meticulously, and I mean meticulously, designed to solve those little local friction points? It's not just translation. We started calling it confidence architecture.
Okay, confidence architecture. I like that. Let's unpack it with an example. How about we start with something purely digital, like a job-focused learning platform, like a Coursera or Skillshare.
A perfect place to start. So the obvious first step is, of course, it has to be in Bangla.
Sure, that's table stakes.
Exactly. But the real strategic move is, first, tying the courses to high-demand local jobs like IT outsourcing, and second, building a direct job placement pipeline. That requires what we call credentialing trust with the employers.
And that credentialing system has to actually work with the tech that's on the ground, right? You can't just assume everyone has perfect fiber optic internet.
Precisely. The UI has to be engaging, sure, but it absolutely must be optimized for low bandwidth. If it's not, students just drop out. And for the employers, that certificate verification has to be instant and totally transparent. If it's not, they just won't buy in.
Okay, so that handles a digital problem.
Huh.
But what about something, truly physical? Let's switch gears to the mattress in a box idea, the D2C furniture model.
Right. The adaptation here is pretty clear. You're targeting the growing urban middle class living in these really high-density apartment buildings.
So you'd probably expand beyond just mattresses.
Oh, for sure. You'd move into modular, flat-pack furniture, things designed for small spaces. But the core problem isn't really the furniture itself, it's getting it there.
But wait a minute, isn't there a fatal flaw there? For something expensive like a mattress, people want to, touch it, feel it. How does a website truly replace that physical trust?
That is the million-dollar question. And it comes right back to that confidence architecture we were talking about. Since you can't physically test it, the e-commerce experience has to be flawless. It has to build that trust for you. We're talking highly visual interfaces, yeah, but also crystal clear warranty and return policies that are super easy to find.
And I'm guessing the delivery part is key.
It's everything. The payment and tracking system has to be localized for the incredibly complex and non-standard urban addresses you find all over Dhaka. If that tracking system breaks, all that carefully built trust just evaporates instantly.
That's a great point. So let's jump back to fintech for our last one. The digital micro savings app. A bit like Acorns in the West, where it helps you save small amounts automatically.
This model is 100% dependent on making users feel comfortable with managing their money digitally. The only way it works is through deep integration with the mobile financial services, the MFS, that people already use and trust.
So systems like Bcash or Nagad.
Exactly. You can't ask users to jump through new hoops. You have to plug into the trust they already have.
So the user interface is basically doing all the heavy lifting to fight that anxiety people naturally have around finance.
Absolutely. Its main job is to build confidence. The UI has to feel exceptionally trustworthy, but also visually rewarding. This is where gamification is just essential.
You mean like progress bars and things like that?
Yeah, progress bars, visual milestones, little bits of positive reinforcement. It all works to make this abstract idea of saving feel concrete and, frankly, less scary. So when you boil it all down, that shift from a global blueprint to local success, it hinges entirely on meticulously designing for these local pain points, so whether that's low bandwidth or complex addresses, or just the fundamental need for digital trust.
Right. So for you, the learner, the key takeaway is that the localized UI/UX isn't just a feature, it is the core strategic adaptation.
That's it. The quality of that digital experience is the new barrier to entry.
And remember, we focused on commerce, but the source material also pointed to how an integrated telehealth model could use these same principles to solve huge geographical barriers to healthcare and make sure medicines are authentic. So here's a final provocative thought for you to chew on. The sources also discussed an RMG waste upcycling marketplace. RMG is ready-made garments. This model turns a massive logistics problem textile waste into a valuable stream of materials for small designers. So the question is, how does an adaptation like that fundamentally redefine how we view waste in a massive industrial economy? Think about that until our next deep dive.